As above, so below. We're talking about Saturn energy to each and every one of you guys. First of all, salutations to my Madrina, to my Madrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjays. To each and every one of you in the church that practice the black arts, the ATRs, salutations to you, as well as those have left the church but got church influence, but you still practicing. This is for you as well. What's up, my melanated, my Sagittarius from Detroit, Stormy? How you doing, darling? On today, this is Saturday. Y'all know that every day is magic for me. Spirituality. I want to say hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing? Salutation to you as well. My 69, how you doing? My Aquarius in the house. Thank you to each and every one of you guys. I'm going to be doing. I'm working. I'm speak. I'm getting the Ogun energy off the charts, so to speak, and so therefore I got things to still do. I wanted to get it to a point. I got to get the rest of the candles over there to the church, because where my Ogun is at the church, and so therefore my Zarabanda is here in my office. To each and every one of you guys, y'all know I don't believe in telling people what to do. I don't believe in telling people what to do. I advise grown men and women that are practicing the ATRs or practicing melanin magic, black magic. I give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What's up there, my mother season of the church, Gemini in the house? And so therefore, some things I'm share, because people have to be mindful of the things that they partake in. People that are serious about conjure and magic, what I say makes sense. People that are not serious, they don't find why it is necessary to incorporate universal laws when they practice hoodoo or voodoo or Santeria or Kumi. People that understand that somebody of my status, somebody that has did magic since they were between the age of 3 and 4 years old. I'm 52 years old as of now, and so therefore I have a lot of experience. I'm a Sagittarius, Moon, Aries, rising sign Pisces, and so therefore, if you don't find the necessity and listening to someone like me, and you don't resonate with me, that's all good. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, and I'm still going to accomplish those things that God have for me. Now, I want to talk about something that, because this is Saturn energy, and I want to talk about something that has been significant. My North Node or my Destiny Star is in Capricorn, and a lot of things that I attribute to my success is out of the house of Capricorn, and my protection has been because of the qualities of Saturn. I'm a Sagittarius. My energy and power comes from Jupiter, but a lot of my successes, and that's why I teach the way that I teach, and I do my consultations with the respect of understanding how universal laws apply to me. Even somebody that's chosen, even somebody that is as gifted as I am, these principles still apply. So I want to talk about my subject on today will be being the eldest of a child, the eldest in a family, or an elder. I have parentheses, responsibility. When you hear the word responsibility, what's up, Chironda, Aries in the house? When you hear the word responsibility, it should send a signal off in your head. Responsibility is ruled by Saturn. The reason why that's important, because if you're not resourceful, a Capricorn won't fool with you. If you're not resourceful or intellectual, an Aquarius that's ruled by Saturn will not fool with you. You will find these people quickly and swiftly distancing themselves from you, energetically as well as physically. The same thing is true with people with Capricorn and Aquarius placement. Because my North Node is in Capricorn, I find myself distancing myself more and more with people. A lot of people don't think I'm distant because I'm still present. My presence is because of my ministry. My presence is because of what my responsibility is. Now, I want to talk about this word responsibility. I want you to have a better understanding when you come into. You look amazing, Dad. All right, there, Tree Rhonda, my Aries. She said I look amazing. And I done went through. I'm still going through some of my health issues, but not that much. I consider myself 98% back to my normal state. And so the word responsibility trigger people, especially melanated people. A lot of us have different perceptions about when it comes down to spirituality, and what and who is responsible. A lot of people will find themselves in situations because they were either born into it or they were placed in that because of a job or what have you. So the first aspect of responsibility is a state or the fact of having a duty to deal with something or having control over someone. Now, why is this important when you're in the ATRs? If you don't know your duty or your responsibility to your elate, a lot of times when people leave stuff unintended, or leave things undone, it is because that individual does not feel a sense of responsibility. Most people that are in my ministry and in the church world, you believe that it's the responsibility of the pastor to make sure the ministry goes forward. You don't feel like it's your responsibility to that being a part of that. The same thing is true when it comes to an elate. The same thing is true when it comes to a covenant. Sometimes the responsibility is shifted on the members or the elate, and sometimes those responsibilities are shifted on the elder or the head of that particular covenant, elate, or ministry, or business, or even in family. When responsibility is not assumed and your duty as the eldest or the elder is forfeited because you don't want the responsibility, you also don't get the honor, you don't get the dignity or the respect. A lot of you find yourself as the oldest and you have no influence because you aborted your responsibility. See, being grown and choosing to have responsibility or not have responsibility comes with outcomes. There are some people that are the elder and they are the eldest and they have mad respect. And these people, I have it in my family, you have it in your family, you have it in your job, you have it in your elay, you have it in your covenant, you have it in your church. See, what people confuse responsibility with favorites. I'm going to say this. People confuse favoritism with responsibility. When God has chosen you, when you are being chosen by Egun, the spirit, you don't do what you want to do. Because you have a responsibility to the divine plan of the divine masculine or feminine or both. when you have chosen, you can't run to Tarshish like Jonah, because you're supposed to be in Nineveh prophesying their demise. You can't make a decision to change your plans because what God is asking you to do, you feel that it's redundant, because all you're going to do is forgive Nineveh. Why should I be bothered with Nineveh? Because he told you to. That's your responsibility. As a prophet or a prophetess, that's your responsibility. As an apostle, as a Bokor, as a Mumbo, as a Hugon, as a member of these energies, we all got responsibility. But we have people, and especially melanated people, don't feel like they supposed to be responsible. They're supposed to benefit off of that responsibility or that duty you have. We act like that's Apostle Eli, Chief Apostle Eli. Matter of fact, he's supposed to be getting early and praying. That's his job, not my job. I'm just a member. That's all about our basic responsibility as believers. But you have people that function in their life as though they can go out and do the things that they do, and they don't have to be held accountable. So responsibility in Capricorn and also in Aquarius leads us to places of responsibility, but not without reward or harvest. These are the people that allow themselves to be envious and jealous of responsible people. People that are on time. People that sit down first and count. When you are a person that has responsibility, you cannot free willy-nilly. I can't handle my finances how I want to handle my finances. I can't handle my energy how I want to, because I'm not only responsible for myself, I'm also responsible for people. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean I'm not flawed. But I assume my responsibility. I'm trying to talk to somebody. It is my responsibility to make sure that I can deal with the stress of my duties. You see what I'm saying? That's why Donald Trump is always at the golf course, because he doesn't want the responsibility. He wants the image and the honor, and this is why he can't achieve that. You can have the position, but give up your responsibility and you don't get no credit. That's why it's important for him to take credit from other people that were responsible. If you don't want certain things to be said about you as a Tata, as a Mumbo, a Hugon, or elder, or a leader, then be responsible for the duties that were discharged to you. Do the duties. You don't have to be a perfect mother. Just do your responsibility. You don't have to be a perfect father. Just do your responsibility. They can like it or dislike how you handle your responsibilities, but at the end of the day, they cannot say you weren't responsible. I want to teach you some magic, some conjuring, but you got to learn how to be responsible. Responsibility also includes the state or the fact of being accountable and to blame for something, which means whatever goes on, I may address people in my ministry. I may address what they did and did not do, and they may think that I'm trying to blame them. But when you are responsible as the head, you must know what's going down with your elay, with your members, your sheep, whatever you call them. But at no time am I looking for somebody to blame for Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated. I'm not looking for somebody to blame for my website. I'm not looking for somebody to blame because I don't have certain supplies. Because I understand it starts with me and what ends with me. That's why I'm not holding my children accountable. Because when I started this ministry, I realized they had lives of their own. And this has to be something that somebody wants, not somebody that benefits. Because a lot of people can benefit from your responsibility. See, when you're responsible, you're not going to just rush into decisions. You're not going to rush into spell work. You're not going to rush into conjure, because you understand that it's essential for you to be responsible, and you're going to be held to blame. As that we say, like to say with the eldest child or the elder, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Acai. Being in a position of responsibility means that people can lay accountability at your feet. All of you that I hear conjuring and giving readings, you don't want, because you're not being responsible for the words that are coming out your mouth, you don't want nobody to say to you that that reading was incorrect. When they blame you for the outcome because they took your counsel, you have to be accountable. That's why I don't prophesy freely to willy, because I'm a major prophet. And so therefore I understand, just like the vine has to guard their words, and they got to be responsible for what they say or they prophesy. This is why people in my church and around my life always trying to get me to say something. The irresponsible people will try to get responsible people to be accountable for their outcomes. I'm going to say it again. Irresponsible people and people that operate in irresponsibility will always try to get responsible people, elders, to co-sign their outcomes so they can not be responsible for what they should be doing and how they're doing it, how they're conducting themselves, the choices they're making. These people are very artful when it comes to getting out of responsibility. What's up, my 69? I like that. Take responsibility and be accountable. Miranda, hello, aloha. They want to get the man that they act like they got to have, but they don't want to be accountable that this man ain't ready or this man don't want him. And they don't want to be held accountable because you pursued that man. That man did not pursue you. You don't want to be accountable for the bedroom talks you have. And then when you get out in front of the public, you act like you don't know nothing. You act like your partner don't know what they talking about. These are the people that don't want to be held accountable. They did the deed. They said the thing, but they don't want to be held accountable. And spirituality ain't no different, because you're not a different person. You're the same person. See, I don't have a problem being held accountable. I don't have a problem because that's why I'm telling you. This is why I don't allow disrespect. Because I have somebody that I have to be accountable to. And therefore, you're not worth it to me to lie to you. Because I know I'm going to be held accountable. So, being the person, when if something go on with my church, they're not coming from my members. They're coming from the person that's the CEO. See, you want all the blessing that come with people that are responsible for their business, for their relationship, are responsible for their elays and y'all. You want that benefit, but you don't want that work. You don't want that work, which means that you're immature. But I'm telling y'all, melanated people don't want to hear that. Even though your life is going to show and manifest accordingly. But people that are responsible are always to blame. If you want to find out in the family who doing the most, look who the family blame the most. In my family, they blame me and my mama for our gifts, our talents, and our ability, our wisdom. But when they get in trouble, they go to the responsible ones. I'm a Sagittarius, I'm not a Virgo. I'm not going to let you blame me. I'm not going to take accountability for your life when you are obviously choosing the path. The decision you're making, you must know something I don't know. That's how I deal with people. As a grown man and grown woman, and in spite of what I read or see for you, maybe you know something I don't know. So let's see how this work out for you. If you don't want to apply yourself and get your tools, if you don't want to, maybe you know something I don't know. Because I'm a 52-year-old spiritually. What I know, I'm just somebody that was born with the 9 realms. I'm just somebody that was born in the position of being crowned. Even I had to be crowned in another religion. I had to be strapped in another. Why everybody that's responsible got to have their oil, like the 5 wise? But you, just because you a virgin, as my mama would say, because you're a virgin, you ain't got to have your oil. Everybody got to do their part. Everybody got. If a man don't work, he don't eat. Baby, you have a right to choose whatever type of a reality, a relationship, a business, a job, but also take accountability for your outcome. You know you got a job that is really for somebody to be in a child being in the household. That's the kind of money you making. You never tried to make your life better, get more education, a better trade. You ain't a better hustler about yourself. So don't be shocked when you get that type of paycheck. If you don't want to get your tools, then don't expect certain outcomes. We got these Ogun candles offered. You didn't get crowned. You ain't spent tens of thousands of dollars like I did. And if you can't get $100 candle, or you can't give $100 donation, then why would I care about your outcome? When you're not even willing to put in the work that every other Santero had to put in. I listen to people talking about, oh, I go to Cuba and get it more cheap. By the time you deal it, especially with the tariff, by the time you pay the amount of money in customs, you might well have got it done over here. But be gone. Be great. Be out my way. Because life is about choices and taking responsibility for them choices. When you want to do a doom candle on somebody, be ready and take responsibility if that thing ever gets turned on you. If you want to go out and put somebody in the graveyard, understand, always be accountable. Be a man or woman about your business. But that ain't what melanated people do, especially in the church. Especially you came up in church, especially if you got church influence. It's Jesus. It's either Jesus or it's the devil. But you always got somebody to blame. Either your mama or your daddy or both. Either it's your family, because everybody wants somebody to blame when you are not responsible. When I ask the question, I say, how many times your mama, your sister, your brother lied on you? Oh, they always lying on me. You still there? You don't feel like you are a part of the problem at all? You're still 5 years later, you still there. 4 years later, you still there. 10 years later, you're still there. He cheating on you. He done. How many times he cheated on you? Just this month, you can count 20 times. At no point you gonna take accountability. You keep denying every opportunity that God give you to say yes. Your ancestors to say yes to them. Your ego to say yes to them. And you constantly refuse supporting your ancestors. So you don't take no accountability for your outcome. You don't take no accountability for your losses. You don't take no accountability to your source and resource of income. No responsibility. How that work? You still suffering the consequences. You're still in a reality that you prefer not to be in. And it's all because you don't take responsibility. You don't take responsibility for your prayer life. You don't take responsibility for your tools. You don't take responsibility for the relationship God gave you. You don't take responsibility for the bridges that you have burned. Why your life so hard? Because you don't burn every goddamn bridge that God ever gave you. And some of the bridges the devil gave you. Just like God take care of his own, the devil take care of his own. If you're going to go by that concept. This is why when they told Yahshua he was Beelzebub, he said, if I was Beelzebub, I wouldn't be casting out demons. A house divided against itself cannot stand. So no matter whether you're on the left side hand path or the right hand path, or you work both hands. You might be a spiritual masturbator like me. You don't never want to be responsible for what you do or what you don't do. It said for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Whether you omit something or you do something, there's always consequences. And responsible people always hold on just a minute. Let me think about it. Do I want to co-sign for that? Irresponsible people always trying to show they got a gift, power, or some type of spiritual knowledge, and they'll talk out of turn. Huh? No matter how many times you tell them to stay in their lane, they gonna cause an accident. And they ain't gonna take no responsibility. Oh, they came in on me. You wasn't even looking. You ain't. That's why in a lawsuit, you can be hit by somebody, but if you don't use those signal lights, if your back lights are out, the insurance company make you take accountability. That's sad. The only time you gonna take accountability, somebody gotta make you. That's why we have certain conversations. That's why we get into certain arguments. Because somebody always gotta make a grown man or woman take responsibility what they said. How many people, when you the elders, you have a lot of pressure. When you the elder, you got a lot of pressure because you holding down a position that other people can walk on. You got to spend them. Everybody want the family reunion. Everybody, oh, that great idea. It costs. And you ain't gonna bring even paper plates, no less than napkins. But you got 3 and 4. Let me tell y'all about people like this. When you're responsible, that same individual will walk away with 3 and 4 plates and ain't brought nothing. And the family members that ain't responsible because they'll do the same thing. They be don't be acting like that. The food got don't let that food go to waste. You didn't think nobody else wanted to get a plate, and sometimes the person that put in the most gets the less. I hope you are ready to be the head and not the tail. I hope you are ready for the responsibility that somebody, even though God ain't trying to make you have no sorrow for your blessings, but they gonna go out their way to create sorrow in your life behind your blessing. Let me tell y'all another thing. When you the eldest and you the elder, you're gonna always be labeled as mean. They don't care how nice you be. Because when you responsible, you gotta put your foot down. When you're responsible, you gotta set boundaries. When you're responsible, you gotta tell people no. Black people don't care about how it costs you. Black people don't care how you tired. And yes, you did a great job over here, but I need you now. I have people, members of my church, was wanting me to stop mourning and hurting so I can accommodate them. You literally see me distraught. You literally see me going through, and you still do not care. I ain't talking about white people. I'm talking to black people. You don't feel responsible for the well-being of your ministry. You don't feel the responsibility for the well-being of your coven, your elay. But you want the benefits of somebody standing still. Because when you the pastor, you can't go and come as you please. When you the responsible adult in the situation, you can't come and go as you please. That's what happened with the eldest son, with the prodigal son. The father told him, "You've been here the whole time." He had a problem because his brother was irresponsible. But a parent gonna be a parent. And what I want y'all to understand, the responsibility that may lie in a parent, and do not lie in your brothers and sisters or your siblings. That goes for your coven, that goes for your elay, because the way what your godmother and godparent, because they birthed you spiritually, they feel a certain sense of responsibility. That's not owed to you from your siblings. That's not owed to you from your elay, your coven, your other brother and spiritual sisters. And that's why people claim to be hurt, but they were being irresponsible. You want people to trust you with power, and you won't even show up. You want people to trust you with business and business endeavors, and you ain't consistent. Where did you learn such asinine behavior? Responsibility also entails the opportunity and the ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. When you're a responsible person, you go to the movies by yourself. When you're a responsible person, your padrino or your madrina will send you to their supply chains because they know you're responsible. They know you're not going to go out and run your mouth. Some of y'all ain't responsible enough to handle your own business, but you got always in somebody else's spiritual business. You can't even keep your business afloat, but you always the people that are irresponsible will cause chaos, and they will sit back like they ain't did nothing. If you trying to grow spiritually, not only you have to be responsible for yourself, you have to understand the irresponsible people. That Bible says it's 5 wise and 5 fools. If you can't be trusted to act independent of your elder, which means that you should be able to learn certain trades and skills and spirituality from your elders. And they can trust you to operate in that energy, that frequency, and vibration with responsibility. The things that my padrino, as young as our relationship is, that he's been able to trust me with certain teaching and instruction. When I was a godchild of Shadow Wood, she gave me a plethora of information where I can effectively, when I got to that point, operate in Ocean. You don't know who done dropped knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on me, but I have been responsible with that information. I had a family member that did not even pay for a consultation. Called me up, asked me some certain things. The very next day, you call me because you want me to remember and remind you of what I told you. The way I snapped on that phone, you wouldn't have thought they were my elder. And then somebody, don't be mad. I said, I ain't mad with you. I want you to understand, you the eldest. You are elder. And I should be coming to you, not the other way around. Because you have aborted responsibility. You don't have the necessary confidence in the same information that you got from the same bloodline. And you want somebody to comfort you and hold your hand through the shit that your irresponsibility have caused. I ain't cuss because they were my elder. You're gonna always hear, and I tell people that they're their eldest daughter, their eldest son. I don't care if you're the eldest in a coven, you the oldest godchild, you the oldest goddaughter. You're gonna have a lot of responsibility. Much is given, much is required. That's just what come along. I'm the eldest with my mom's kid. I'm not the eldest when it comes down to my dad's kids. I know what that role holds. If you want respect and honor, you have to assume your responsibility. My sister loved being the baby sister. She loved the fact she ain't the eldest. Because all that falls on me. Even whether me and my mom doing good or not. I'm still somebody she looks to and to help her resolve her issues. But if I don't assume responsibility and I abort that responsibility, she ain't gonna have no respect, and I'm still the oldest. That's what's wrong with a lot of y'all, that the elders in these religions. You the elders in age, but you can't be respected because you constantly aborting responsibility, accountability. Don't want to be blamed for nothing. So therefore, over a long period of time, all you can say is you've been crowned 45 years. Obatala, 45 years. You should be ashamed of yourself to be in conjure that long. You should be ashamed of yourself to be in Ephah that long, and you can't resolve issues. You know how many damn times you needed to see the same moon cycle? How many times you got to see the same eclipse? You should have always said, you've been in conjure that long? See, when I say I've been doing this that long, that's why I talk shit like I do. That's why I don't let the disrespect go on. Because I paid my due. I did my responsibility. I rolled like I needed to roll. And I still ain't got to be perfect. I still can walk around flawed, but valuable. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to drink to that. I can walk around flawed and still be valuable because I play my role. I don't look to nobody to take my responsibility. I'm the older brother. I'm the eldest child. I'm a part. You hear me at times. I say I'm a part of the matriarch. When you don't feel responsible, you might have the duty, but you don't feel responsible. That's why you can walk off. That's why you can spend money like you do. That's why you give your energy to people that don't serve you. That's why you can do that easily. If you have this same conversation in your family, it'll start an argument. When people don't want responsibility, they will cause a distraction. And they'll beat you talking about it. They'll beat you mad. Because they don't want to hear what is going to be told to them over and over. You the oldest. You the eldest. You supposed to be the elder. Because all of that comes with responsibility. All that comes with you doing what you need to do. And then somebody young, this is why Paul told Timothy, let no man despise your youth. When you got people like me that was raised and trained by the older people, they may be young and they may be young looking, but they ain't nothing to be fucked up with. This is why I'm urging you, Capricorn and Aquarius, about that business. And these people are called Satan for a reason. Because you think it's evil. This is how irresponsible people think. Immature people think. You think it's evil for me to tell you no. To go and find somewhere else to buy your oil. Least I don't have enough. You want people to give up what they've been responsible for in order for you to have what you have need of because you've been irresponsible. How that sound? You want to have sex on sheets you ain't buy. You want to put people in positions in the bulk with a headboard you didn't buy. Pillars you ain't buy. You want to be the man of a house, you never put any tile down. You ain't never hammered one nail in that house for the house to be. You don't even know the mortgage account because you ain't never paid it. It's people in my church that don't know what the rent is. They don't know what the light bill. I had one asking me about the internet. What kind of tithe offering or any resource you done gave for us to even have internet? Mr. Mario, son of a toasty, everybody want to blame him by being my favorite. He was responsible. He didn't get mad and still not give. He the type of person that will give and still be mad with me. He gonna be mad with me. He gonna still give and be responsible, and he don't fully agree with what I said or what I did. See, responsibility ain't about a feeling. It's just your duty. You think you can get mad with your Elay and not support it because you irresponsible. You want respect without responsibility. Oh, this ain't popular, but it's facts. It's all true. Your ragged ass want all this power with no accountability. No. You want something for nothing? That means you'll give away what God bless you. I done told you 100 times, if I ain't tell you 10 million times. God don't fatten no frog for a snake. And you keep going out there fucking with them frogs, and you shocked why you can't get certain things to manifest. Your ancestors don't like him. Your ancestors don't like her. And they may love you, but they ain't finna help you fatten that frog to diss you later. Because you don't want to be responsible for your ego. That's why I love certain people, how they invest in their spirituality. Because all that I see them doing in my mind is investing in themselves. And in turn, investing in their ancestors. You want to spend your money on wants, and you want me to supply your needs. If that ain't a fucked up way to look at life. You want me to go through all of these rituals and all of this, spend all of this kind of money, and turn around and just get handed you because you black, because you gave me some pussy, because you gave me some ass. Do you think I'm gonna minimize my responsibility to trade my responsibility out for that shit? When I watch younger people being more responsible for their spirituality than you as an older person, get the fuck out of here. They might not tell you that, but I'm telling you, get the fuck out of here. Who should be more responsible for what's going on in this climate should be the elders. But your ass dumb as hell. When you were younger, you weren't responsible. You just an old, irresponsible fart. Male or female. Because you understand and should understand why all this is important. You should understand like nobody else should understand. You've been here that goddamn long. To live 100 years and you did shit. But manipulate people and cause problems in the family, your ass should have been dead. The family bloodline cursor would have, a lot of them would have went with your ass. No, they ain't gonna tell you that. I'm the seer. I'm the one that solves problems. You ask me what the problem is because you got too many old bitches and the old motherfuckers trying to be young. And they trying to ride on the young people time instead of being the old heads and the wisdom heads and guiding them and praying. Because you act like you didn't get a chance to fuck. You act like you ain't get a chance to cheat. Your old ass done did all kind of things. You got all kind of wisdom. But you won't share it. Because you don't want nobody to know you that damn disgusting. You that trifling. You's a scumbucket. And now you sitting up in the church with a white dress on. Bitch, it's stained. I don't care how white it is. I don't care how new it is. You's a stained bitch. Cause you abort your responsibility. What I'm be 52 years old and ain't got none to share. None to share. And you think I'm vulgar. Wait till I get through with your ass. You think I'm rude. You think I'm obnoxious. Wait till I get through body slamming your ass with your cane in hand. Because you're going to reap what you sow. Because one thing about responsibility, whether you do it or not, you still going to be held accountable. That's why Mayot sits there after you done did all your shit. Mayot brings the feather. And that's why you don't want to stand in judgment. That's why you looking for Jesus. Because you don't want to deal with the universal laws. Because you thought Jesus was going to pay it off. First of all, he ain't real. And second of all, your karmic debt has to be paid by you or your bloodline. End of story. Your karmic debt on this earth, whatever your bloodline has done has to be paid by you or your bloodline. What about that? While you out here in other people's business, while you out here trying to fuck somebody up, take somebody man, take somebody woman, understand that's the different kind of energy that you bringing in your bloodline. Ain't nobody made you do that. Ain't nobody made you do that. Everybody got to make you do good, but nobody got to make you do harm. When I tell people I don't do that kind of work, I ain't gonna do that. Ain't because I can't. I don't want to deal with that energetic return. It ain't worth it to me. That's why I hear y'all hear me say, you ain't got enough money to give me and then make me do that. Everybody fool with Donald Trump lose ass and elbows. You may look at somebody and you say, they can do it, I can do it. And you lose your whole soul behind it. What shall a man profit if he loses the whole soul? Because you don't want to follow protocols. You don't want to follow principles. You don't want to sit there and wait your turn, pay your dues. Put your currency in. If your grandmama didn't do it, or your auntie didn't do it, your mama didn't do it, somebody got to get it done. And maybe I'm not the foundation of my spirituality. Other people done paid a price. Minister Mario, the reason why he couldn't get that much help from the spirit world, because he was the first one, number one, was living a real spiritual life. Number two, he was the first one to get crowned and stretched. So the ancestors can only do what the ancestors can do. And that's why he was leaning on my spirituality, because I was already in a place. Y'all gotta understand that. Sometimes you the first one to lay that foundation. And it might be take a couple of bodies. It's like a relay race. It may take 4 or 5 people to bring that thing home. And then everybody else that come in that bloodline can build upon that foundation. Maybe that's your testimony. But whatever it is, it got to get done. And you got to take responsibility for your role. Because your soul acts to come in this life in this timeline. It got a purpose and a reason. And you need to take responsibility. And you need to be around other people that going to help you get the tools that can allow you to effectively play your role. That's all my tools offer you. The ability to be in the best of position to play your role, to play your part. And if that don't mean nothing to you, you ain't gonna find help nowhere. Because if you ain't taking responsibility for your energy, who can help you? If you ain't taking accountability for the things that you have prayed while you were upset, the things you have done when you were upset, when you didn't give a damn, you think them energies going anywhere? I done told you, energy cannot be destroyed. What part of that you don't understand? I don't care the reason why you did it. You did. You set stuff in motion. That's accountability. Ain't nobody made me go out there and get 3 baby mamas. I did it. I take full responsibility. Even when shit happened that ain't my fault, I still take it. I say, because if I want to fuck you, I wouldn't. We have what? If I want to fuck you, I wouldn't be having this problem. Now I done made not only somebody a mother, I done made somebody a grandmother. If the bitch wasn't smart as a mother, she ain't gonna be no smarter as a grandmother. And that's me, you, and anybody else. The reason why your daddy is what he is, he gonna be the same motherfucker when it come down to being a granddaddy or great granddaddy. Ain't gonna change. He was getting out of doing your birthday party. So you know damn way he gonna get out. You're doing his granddaughter birthday party. He ain't make sure you went to SeaWorld when he was up in his health. And y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all kill me. Y'all, it just befuddling to me how you motherfuckers sit there and know that man or woman ain't been in there in your life like that, and you want to get in the most elaborate type of funeral you can. Give them exactly the energy they gave you. You look like a fool. I ain't talking about people that did the best they can. I ain't talking about people operating in there. I'm talking about people that while you were hungry, he was over Miss Sally feeding her kids. While you were hungry as a child and your mama out there selling pussy to put some in your belly, he was over there with Miss Claudine or Gerald making sure they, oh no, energy in, energy out. If you didn't want that type of treatment, you shouldn't take them kind of action. Praise the Lord. That's why I as a spiritualist move like I move, because I understand responsibility. I make sure I repeat it over, even repeating myself irks me, but I will do it anyway because I'm responsible. I say something over and over and it be burning me up. But because I'm responsible, because I'm accountable, that's why you can still come on this social media platform, because I'm responsible. I don't have to change the name of my ministry, change the name of my personal self, because I done did some fucked up shit that I don't want to be accountable for. Whatever I go through, even when I was going through with my health, I still was accountable. I still was responsible. I was responsible not only for my family, I was responsible for my children, I was responsible for my church, and I was responsible for my social media family. I could keep all y'all asses in the dark, but I felt a certain responsibility. And if you ain't got that in a spiritualist, you ain't got shit. Just like you ain't got shit in your family when they don't feel responsible for you. And I'm going to end it on that note. I hope this helped you. I hope you actually open your eyes. I hope that many of you that claim that you want the ATRs, that you actually come into with a mindset that you're going to be responsible, and you can be accountable for any energy that you decide today or tomorrow to participate in, or today or tomorrow to conjure or pray. Stop being like these fuck ass people. They throw their rock and they hide their hand. I don't got no respect for them. I don't have no respect. And that's me. That's my humble opinion. All right? I got to finish up getting this stuff for Ogun. If you want to get an Ogun candle or give an offering towards Ogun, Zelle me or go to my website and purchase a candle, or just say Apostle, here go $1,000. Apostle, here go $10,000. Apostle, here go some whole money, because you need some good sex. I appreciate whatever you do. I really do. I take full accountability. All right? Love y'all. See y'all later.